Hey guys, so I'm back with my third tutorial. I just appreciate you guys so much for watching all of my other tutorials. I'm really trying to be so consistent with you guys, so I know that this video was long overdue. I've been very busy, but I'm finally uploading for you guys. So today we will be doing a glam look, but I'll be using like natural colors, no glitter or anything. We're just gonna do like a matte cut crease today. So I'm really excited for you guys to see this because this is the first time that I'm going to be doing a cut crease on my channel. So let's just jump right into the tutorial. I'm here with my model and friend Lisa, and we already did her brows off camera just because I didn't want to bore you guys with the same technique that I've been using for the past two videos. So I just wanted to save time and really get into the cut crease so you guys could see that. So now you guys see me priming her lid with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn, and this is the same concealer that I used to do brow cleanup underneath her eyebrows. So I always match the same concealer that I use for brow cleanup for any client, and I just continue to pack that on with my beauty blender and blend it out until the base is nice and smooth and there's like no disconnect between the eye concealer and then the concealer I put on as a base for her eyeshadow. So you'll see me just continuing to put concealer on and just blend it out, just because I want to make sure that the base is smooth for her eyeshadow. And she also has small eyes, so it's important that I make sure that the concealer, Lord have mercy, the concealer is not creasing. So here we are. I ended up having her concealer finished and stuff, and now we're gonna go straight into the eyes. So I'm using the Morphe 398 palette. This is the same palette that I've been using for the past two tutorials. I know I have to use some different palettes, but I really like this palette because it's just so versatile. Like, you can do so many looks with the palette. There's purples, there's greens, there's blues in there, and there's also natural colors like tan and brown. And I'm just packing this shade on until it's nice and even across the crease. I'm packing it on with my Morphe M441 brush, and this brush is pretty fluffy, so you'll kind of get a blown out look for the crease so far. But I'm just using this just because I want it to be more blown out rather than more concentrated in one area on the lid, just because I'll be using this as a transition color and kind of as a base shade, so it doesn't really need to be too concentrated. So I went ahead and did both eyes, and that's what it looks like. I just packed it into her crease just enough so it was nice and even and not patchy. And now we will be going in with our Sigma, I want to say E38 brush. Yeah, it's an E38 brush, and I'm going to use this so it's a little bit more concentrated in her crease. And I'm packing a darker brown shade on just to deepen her crease and add more depth to her eye, especially because when the cut crease comes, I want there to be a little bit more depth to her eye. So we're just going in with this Sigma E38 brush, and I'm packing it right on top of the transition shade that I use just to deepen her crease. And then after I'm done that, I will be going right in with the same exact brush, the Morphe M441 brush, and I didn't dip back into the same shadow. I used the excess shadow that I had on the brush just to blend out the harsh edges of that dark brown shadow, and just so the transition shade doesn't really get lost and it doesn't start to look muddy and all like concentrated in one area, if that makes sense. So I'm just going in and blending those out so it can be nice and seamless on her eye, and so it doesn't look patchy, because patchiness is just not cute at all. So now I am going in with my Anastasia number 18 brush, and I'm just prepping that brush. I'm going to be using this for my cut crease. So as you can see, I have my concealer on the back of my hand, and I use that so it can warm up the product so the product is not cold. And then I will be going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills number 18 brush and just drawing the cut crease right above her actual crease, just so her eyes can be, she can have the illusion that her eyes is just a little bit bigger than what they actually are. I also wanted to mention here that the Anastasia Beverly Hills number 18 brush, that brush is a synthetic brush. And I use synthetic brushes for my cut creases because it's easy to keep them nice and flat. When you're using a natural hair brush, it can be hard to keep the brush flat because the product, rather than sitting on top of the brush, it just kind of seeps into the bristles. With synthetic brushes, the product sits on top of the brush, so you don't have to keep dipping back in all the time, even though I still do, just because I like a little bit of excess concealer on my brush to draw the line and get the line, the consistency of the cut crease line a little bit better than, you know, if you just continue to draw with the same amount of concealer on the brush. But I say all this to say that you should probably use like a synthetic brush. You can get some from the paint store. They're really cheap, you know, but just get like a flat synthetic concealer brush or something like that, because it makes it a lot easier to draw cut creases on the lid. So just a side note, but you guys can do whatever you want, but that's the brush that I normally use. So I already did one eye, and now I'm going in and doing the second eye. This eye was a little bit hard for me. I'm still working on trying to get the left side a little bit better because sometimes it can be hard for me to match the same exact shape of the first eye that I did. But what I will say is that your cut creases don't have to be exactly similar. They can be a little off. As long as it's not like super noticeable, you should be fine. So that's always what I do. Like, I try to get it as even as possible, but you know, sometimes you just don't have the time to like take it all the way off and do it all the way over. So the best advice that I can give while doing this process is just really focus and just like look at the eyes and try to make sure that they're as similar as possible, and just don't talk. Like, a lot of this stuff, like doing eyebrows and doing concealer and things like that, and even doing like cut creases, just comes with like a lot of practice and a lot of focus. I personally can't talk while doing cut creases. Like, I have to be super silent. So feel free to tell your client like, hey, we could talk a little bit later. I just need to focus real quick and you'll be fine. So that's always what I do when I'm doing cut creases, because if you talk during a cut crease, you will mess up. I know from experience. So that's that, guys. Just another tip that I'm trying to give you guys. So now I'm taking my E40 brush, and I like to use flat brushes, or not flat brushes. What am I talking about? I like to use fluffy brushes to apply the shade on the cut crease, like the actual matte shade that I was going to put on her cut crease as far as like eyeshadow color. I like to use fluffy brushes to apply those. You guys didn't really get to see it on camera, but I took the Sigma E40 brush and I went in and I just applied a cream shade onto her lid on top of the cut crease. I like to do that because it gets the shadow smoother and you don't have to worry about creasing. So that's one thing that I really like about using fluffy brushes rather than flat brushes. You would think that it's easier to use a flat brush because you can pack it on a little bit more, but I think the way that the bristles are set up on a fluffy brush allows for more coverage and a smoother coverage. So that's another thing that I learned doing cut creases. And now I'm going right back in with the same Morphe M441 brush, and I'm using that same tan transition shade that I used the first time, and I'm pulling up her eyebrow. Notice I do this a lot because it allows me to really get in her crease especially when your client has small eyes, it can help if you pull up and lift up her eyes so you can really get into her crease and pack the color in there. But I'm just like kind of dragging that color over from the corner of her eye onto the cut crease, just so she can kind of get like a little ombre effect there. So I always love a little ombre effect. And now I'm going in with the Sigma E38 brush, and I'm going to use that darker shade, the darker brown shade that I used in her crease, and I'm just going to deepen that ombre just a little bit, not too much, but just enough to where you can kind of see it. So the eyes are finished, and I went in and I did lashes off camera. I always do, just because lashes can be a hassle, okay? Like putting them on. Sometimes your clients' eyes get stuck together, and y'all don't need to be seeing all of that. So I went in and did that off camera, and I'm using the Laflare K7 lashes. I love those lashes. I use them a lot for my clients. They have some really good mink lashes, but you know, I get them from the hair store. And so now I'm just going in, priming her skin with my favorite primer. And this one is the Too Faced, the Too Faced Hangover Primer. And I like this because it just smooths out the pores in the skin, and it also hydrates the skin. So I use that all the time. That's a really good primer. And now we are doing foundation. So I'm using my Real Techniques Instapop face brush, and I use the Maybelline FIT Me foundation in the shades 358 and 360, and I pressed that into the skin with the Instapop brush, and now I'm using my Shaded by Jade beauty blender and going over it. I like using the Instapop brush because it really fits nicely into the contours of the skin. So and it does, for a brush like that, it really does apply foundation pretty smoothly. But I just like to still go over it with a beauty blender, just kind of seal the deal, you know what I mean? So, but the Instapop brush you can find at like Ulta, it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $10, but it works really, really well, and it presses that foundation into the skin, because when you're blending stuff, you never want to swipe the product onto the face. You always want to go in and tap the product and dab it into the face, because it's supposed to be absorbed within your pores. That way your face can look flawless and nice and smooth. So don't ever swipe your makeup on with a brush or with your fingers. I know a lot of people tell me that they do that, and it doesn't work like if you're trying to do like a full coverage glam look. So always tap any product that you're blending into your skin, tap it on. So now I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn, and I'm just doing her highlight, and I put 2 upside down triangles under her eyes, and I'm blending that out with my Shaded by Jade beauty blender again. I use the same beauty blender for the whole face, just because I find that it makes blending a lot easier between the different shades that you're going to be using for highlight, contour, foundation. Like, it blends a lot easier. So I'm bringing that concealer all the way up to her waterline, and then like kind of near her tear duct, and you just want to blend it out until it's smooth. So yeah, I'm just taking the tip of the beauty blender, and I'm blending that in. And then I'll probably go in with the bottom of the beauty blender and blend out near her cheeks. And when you blend out near her cheeks, it'll help the edges of the concealer to blend seamlessly into the foundation. So yeah, you can see me doing that now. I'm taking the bottom of the beauty blender where I originally like smoothed over her foundation with that end. I'm taking that end, and I'm just going in, and I was blending the harsh edges of the highlight out onto her cheeks so it can be blended seamlessly. So now that everything's blended, I took my Air Spun powder, translucent powder, and I packed that under her eye to set this concealer. That way she doesn't crease. You don't need a lot. I just used enough. And I'm going to do that on her chin. And then I'll do that down the bridge of her nose as well. Now I'm about to go into contour. I'm using the Makeup Revolution C18 concealer. And I put that in the hollows of her cheeks and on her forehead. And now I'm taking my Real Techniques contour brush and I'm just blending that out in circular motions. And keep in mind, like, every product that I use, like as far as like my brushes and my beauty blenders and stuff, like they're all like kind of wet or damp in some way. Like I spray the brushes with the Mario Badescu spray, like just so the brush can be a little bit wet so it can blend. Like obviously I'm not going to like use actual wet brushes on her face, but you know, just a little bit damp, it helps with blending a lot easier, and it just kind of preps the brush for liquid products. So I like to do that just to make sure that the brush can blend everything evenly out. So I went in and wiped off the under eye powder with my Real Techniques powder or setting brush. Yeah, it's a setting brush. All the brushes that I have will be listed in the description box anyway. But after I did that, I'm using my bronzer and I am just bringing the color back into her face and warming her face back up. Sometimes when you do highlight and you set it and stuff like that, it can take away from the color and the natural hue of your client's face. So bronzer is really used to bring back the warmth into your client's face. So I used the Covergirl Ebony bronzer and I just kind of put that on her forehead and near her cheeks. And now I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Sweet as Cocoa blush and I'm just putting that on the high points of her cheeks. So now I'm just going in with my brow pencil. I want to say I'm using the NYX brow pencil in Espresso, and I'm just like adding a little bit of finishing touches to her brows. Just because when you're doing foundation and stuff like that, when you do your brows first, sometimes when you do foundation or you finish the rest of the face, it can take away from the brows, and sometimes they need to be touched up a little bit. So that's what I went in and did. And then you guys just saw me spray her face with some finishing spray. I used the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray there. And now we're going into lips, which is my favorite part. This is my favorite part to do during like makeup during the process and stuff, because I love looking at the skin and when everything kind of comes together. I just think it looks so beautiful. So I'm using a NYX lip liner pencil. I'll have the exact color for you guys in the description box. But it's just a red shade that I'm using to line her lips because we're going to be putting on some red liquid lipstick. So yeah, I'm just lining her lips real quick. I always use a liner for liquid lipstick, always. And now I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills American Doll liquid lipstick. This liquid lipstick comes off as really bright when like on camera, but it dries as a more cool red, like a blue based red rather than like a orange based red, meaning that like it's not as warm as you would think it is. This red is a little bit more cool on the cooler side and it dries a little bit cooler. So if you're looking for something like that's really bright fiery red, I would definitely go for like a Fenty lip stunner or, you know, the lip paint. But yeah, I like this red too. So here we are with the finished look. I love this look. I think it's so gorgeous, and I think that the red adds so much to her skin. It looks just so well on her skin. But I hope you guys enjoyed the look as much as I did. Thank you guys for watching so very much. And if you got all the way to the end of the video, you're a real one. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, comment on these videos, or like any of them that I have already put up, because there'll be many more to come, and let me know what you guys would like to see next. Bye.